Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder. Today we're diving into a report from Protalix BioTherapeutics, and let me tell you, it's not exactly a page turner, but stick with me because there's money involved and that's always interesting. We're going to decode their latest filing to see what's really going on behind the scenes. Protalix BioTherapeutics filed what's called an 8K form. This is basically a quick update a company sends to the Securities and Exchange Commission, or SEC, to let investors know about important events. Think of it as a corporate breaking news bulletin. The main thing here is that Protalix made a deal to sell more of its stock. They've got this agreement called an at-the-market offering agreement with a company called H.C. Wainwright & Co. This agreement lets Protalix sell shares of its common stock over time. The thing is, they'd already sold all the shares they were allowed to sell under the original agreement. So they made an update called an amendment to sell even more stock. Specifically, they're adding $20 million worth of stock that they can sell. Think of it like refilling their piggy bank by selling a piece of the company. Now, these shares will be issued based on a previous registration form. This form basically tells the SEC that the company is allowed to sell these stocks to the public. What are they going to do with all that money? They say they're going to use it for general corporate purposes, which could mean a lot of things. They specifically mention working capital and funding clinical trials, which is testing out new drugs. So basically, they need the cash to keep the lights on and hopefully develop new treatments. Now, if you wanted to read all the fine print, you could check out the actual legal documents called exhibits. There's a letter agreement, which is the amendment to the sales agreement, and legal opinions from their lawyers, but we're going to skip that for now because who has time for that? Okay, next up is something called forward-looking statements. This is basically the company covering its behind. They're saying, hey, we're making these predictions about the future, but things could change. Don't blame us if we're wrong. They mention things like expect, anticipate, and believe. Be careful when you see these kinds of words because it's a hint they are making assumptions about the future. They say their expectations for using the money from selling the stock could change. There are risks and things might not go as planned. They point you to their annual report and other filings if you want to read about all the things that could go wrong. Finally, the report is signed by Dror Bashan, the President and Chief Executive Officer. It's his way of saying he stands behind the content of this report. Now let's break this down. Protalix is a biotech company, and biotech companies often need a lot of money to develop new drugs. Clinical trials are expensive. Selling stock is one way to raise that money, but it also means that existing shareholders own a smaller piece of the company. If you own a pie and you cut more slices, each slice is smaller. So what does this all mean? On one hand, Protalix is getting the cash they need to keep their business running. On the other hand, they are diluting the value of existing shares, meaning each share is now worth less. Here's my take. Protalix clearly needs cash and this stock offering is a way to get it. However, it's important to watch how they use that money. Are they investing it wisely and promising new drugs, or are they just using it to cover basic expenses? One of the biggest risks here is that clinical trials can fail. If Protalix's key drugs don't make it through testing, the company's stock price could take a big hit. This is common in the biotech industry. On the opportunity side, if Protalix does develop a successful drug, the rewards could be huge. A breakthrough treatment could send the stock price soaring. Overall, Protalix is a high-risk, high-reward investment. It's not for the faint of heart. This stock offering gives them the fuel to keep going, but it's up to them to make the most of it. Keep an eye on their clinical trial results and how they're spending their money. That will tell you a lot about where the company is headed. Thanks for watching. If you found this breakdown helpful, give us a like, leave a comment, and subscribe for more corporate decoding.